Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes.
A question of whether local governments have any control over oil and gas drilling came before the Ohio Supreme Court on February 26th, when Beck Energy Corporation obtained a permit from the state and began drilling on a Monroe Falls residence property. The Summit County city filed suit. Thomas Houlihan argued before the justices that city zoning ordinances operate in harmony with the state law.
The city of Monroe Falls would like to ask this court to support their traditional role of zoning, which allows cities to plan for orderly growth, by holding that the oil and gas statute operates in parallel to local zoning, so that the city designates what land is available for oil and gas production, and the state controls the methods of that production.
Beck Energy's John Keller argued that the local ordinances conflict with the state law that gives the Ohio Department of Natural Resources sole regulation powers.
We believe it would be difficult to find stronger language as expressed by the General Assembly beyond the sole and exclusive authority language that the General Assembly chose to use.
The case came to the Supreme Court after the 9th District Court of Appeals found a conflict between the local ordinances and state laws. The decision will be announced on the Ohio Supreme Court's website.
The Joseph P. Canera U.S. Courthouse has stood along the Scioto River in downtown Columbus for 80 years. A $26.8 million Federal Recovery Act project is designed to help the courthouse last for decades more. The project was recently completed after more than 3 years and was overseen by the U.S. General Services Administration that owns and maintains the federal building.
The project features both interior and exterior building improvements and upgrades. And these improvements will also help reduce the building's energy and water consumption, ultimately saving the taxpayers' dollars.
GSA Regional Director Ann Kalisle says low-flow water fixtures and upgraded restrooms, a rainwater harvesting system to water the landscaping, and special light sensors to conserve electricity are among the interior upgrades.
We have been working in a construction zone, but it's all been for a very important purpose.
Judge Edmund Sargas has worked in the courthouse for nearly 18 years and has been watching the progress of this project.
The outside, of course, is the big change, and fortunately nothing ever fell off the building before it was repaired. So it's more the idea of coming into a well-maintained building, I think, that we see as the upshot of all this.
Portions of the deteriorating sandstone were repaired while maintaining the historic look of the building. Carved stone figures like this lion were cleaned. Reglazed and resealed windows add to the building's energy efficiency.
The recent improvements helped GSA significantly reduce the building's use of energy and water. As compared to 2009 levels, current energy and water usage at the buildings are both down by 23%, and that's pretty significant.
Kalisle adds the preservation project also means a piece of architectural history will be maintained for future generations to enjoy. The annual Black History Month celebration was held on February 26th at the Thomas J. Moyer Ohio Judicial Center. In his keynote speech, Curtis Moody of the Columbus architectural firm Moody Nolan discussed the continued need for legislative initiatives such as affirmative action to ensure racial inclusion and diversity in business.
There are times in which the laws that are created, quite frankly, are what begin the basis of helping a good individual be a good individual.
To counter any negative attitudes about his minority-owned business, Moody said they strive to be the most qualified for the job.
My goal for a firm is that we're going to design buildings in a way that the clients we do have, that the others that don't want us would wish they did. That they would absolutely wish they had hired us.
The celebration included a performance by Urban Strings, a group of young musicians from various public and private schools throughout the Columbus metropolitan area.
Because of Martin Luther King.
James Oram, a kindergarten student at Fifth Avenue International School, presented his winning speech from the 2014 City of Columbus Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Oratorical Contest. This is the 6th year for the Ohio Supreme Court's Black History Month celebration. To view the complete program, visit the Ohio Channel.
That's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts.